Sports and taxation in Ukraine. The main idea is that taxation of sport activities in Ukraine has its own peculiarities and requires further development in accordance with the best international practices. Generally, sport law is understood as the specific segment of legal rules governing relations occurring in the sphere of physical culture and sport. Such segment appears to be the organic conjunction of various laws relating in different ways to sport. These include, for example, civil law, employment law, corporate law, and in particular tax law. The sport industry is one of the fastest growing industry worldwide, and Ukraine is not the site of this global process. A growing number of taxpayers nowadays earn income from sport, for example, professional football players and clubs. Needless to say that the applicable taxation regime depends mainly on the status of a particular taxpayer. This may be inter alia a business company, a non-for-profit organization, amateur sport club, National Olympic Committee of Ukraine, a non-resident representative office of permanent establishment in Ukraine, and an individual. Accordingly, these taxpayers incur a range of tax obligations, and some of them will be considered throughout this article. Corporate profit tax. Again, corporate profit tax CPT implication will depend on the status of a particular CPT payer. Thus, according to the tax code, the profit of a Ukrainian business company, determined as the difference between income and cost, will be subject to taxation at the 21% rate. Income may be generated through a variety of sources, including, for example, sports person transfer fees, prize monies, attendance receipt, sponsorship contract, merchandising, image right payment, appearance fees, and TV right. Some proceeds, like loan or capital contribution, do not qualify as taxable income. Costs also vary and may include, for example, salaries and other remuneration, lease fees, and insurance premium. For a non-for-profit organization, only allowed proceeds as established by the tax code are exempt from taxation, whereas non-qualifying proceeds are subject to taxation. The former include, for example, donation, passive income, and proceeds from charter activities. Finally, any income of non-resident derived from sources within Ukraine is subject to taxation in Ukraine, and such income include inter alia remuneration for performance of sport activities on the territory of Ukraine. Value-added tax. Generally, according to the tax code, the supply of goods or services with the place of supply on the custom territory of Ukraine is subject to the 20% value-added tax, VAT. The tax code further specifies that the place of supply of services in the sphere of sport is the place where these services are actually rendered, whereas some sport-related transactions are VAT exempt or are not subject to VAT, secondment of personnel. To a non-Ukrainian lessee, the most of them are VAT-able. This may include, for example, sale of ticket for entry to any sporting or other entertainment event, merchandising, and appearance fees. In sport, it is common that sport persons are transferred from one sport organization to another. For example, in accordance with the FIFA rules, a player who is contracted to a club and can have his contract transferred to another club based on a process known as a transfer system. The relevant procedures require the club buying a player to pay compensation to the club selling its player. In fact, what is being sold is the right of the club to require the player's services. Whether transfer fees retrievable by the selling sport organization from the buying sport organization are subject to VAT appears to be an issue in Ukraine. As soon as the tax code doesn't specifically regulate this question, there are two opposite approaches. The aggressive approach will be that such transfer doesn't fall with the definition of the supply of goods or services for VAT purposes, whereas pursuant to the more conservative approach, such transfer should be treated as the VAT-able supply of services. Thank you.